Namaskara, this is Shalmali. Today I will be showing a gluten-free flatbread recipe. This is made out of amaranth grain. You get amaranth flour very easily from any Indian stores. This is gluten-free and grain-free, and it kind of tastes better than regular roti. It's little challenging to do, but with little bit of practice you can do it easily. This kind of looks and feels more like any other millet rotis. It doesn't really have that fluffy texture as regular wheat roti, but taste is much better than any millet rotis. It's kind of nutty, especially it goes very well with jaggery and ghee. That is one of my son's favorite lunch for school. These are the amaranth grain, or you can even call it as seeds. This is also called as rajgira, and it is available in all Indian stores. Finely ground flour is also readily available. That is more convenient to use it too. Make sure it is finely ground, otherwise it is hard to make the rotis. Here, to make about 4 rotis, I have taken 1 cup of flour and half cup of water, pinch of salt and a teaspoon of ghee. Make sure the flour is very fine and you have to knead it well. You can hold on to a little bit water and see if it needs more. Don't take more than what I have mentioned here. The water temperature doesn't have to be very hot. It doesn't have to really cook the dough, but it has to warm the dough just so that it is easy to bring a little bit of stickiness, which is not as great as regular roti, and it is not as great as other millets either, but this process helps stuff to bind a little. Here I have taken ghee, but you can take any oil also. We just need a little bit of fat so that it helps all the dough to bind and not stick to your hand so much. Now comes the fun part. Just play with the dough. Give it a nice knead and give it a nice massage, and until you get kind of like a stickiness that it is not sticking to your hand or the plate, and kind of whole dough comes together, and you can feel that, oh, this is kind of close to the regular wheat roti. It's all bound together, and when you find this consistency, you can divide it into 4 equal parts, and then get an airtight container and let it sit in the container for about 15 minutes. When the dough rests, it kind of becomes easier to work with when you are flattening it to make roti later. These small round silicone baking sheets are so convenient to roll these sticky rotis, as it helps to move the silicone mat around while you're working with the dough. Just give a good knead before you roll out the roti. This requires a lot of patience, as the dough is not so easy to work with. Keep lots of dry flour handy as you need it to make sure the roti doesn't stick to the baking sheet while you're rolling it. This roti doesn't require as much pressure as you need for a wheat roti, but it is a bit tricky as it keeps sticking to the rolling pin and the bottom. So keep using dry flour to make sure that it doesn't stick to your rolling pin or the bottom sheet. You can see the borders being uneven. There you go, it teared too. You can just correct it right there. Just use a little more dry flour and just pinch it and just patch it. Nobody has to know it. Just keep picking the whole roti up just to make sure that it hasn't stuck to the sheet. Do not put too much pressure at this point, just lightly roll so that it is evenly spread throughout. Time to get the griddle ready. Here, let me show you what is the thickness you need. It should not be thinner than this or thicker than this. If it is thin, then it will become too tough. And if it is thick, then it won't cook through and it kind of will become very sticky inside. Here I am showing you again. This dough is tricky to work with, so have a lot of patience. It can tear on you, it can stick to you. Just use the flour and keep pushing it and making sure that it is not stuck in the bottom. Keep lifting it up. And if there is a tear, you can just patch it up there. I'm showing it to you again here. Nobody has to know. Just stick it. It should be fine. If the uneven crooked edges bothering you, don't worry about it. I'll teach you how to cheat. Wait for it. Just look for a round top of any of the stainless steel canister or your masala dabba or something that is round. You can just cut this roti to a round shape with that. There you go. You get perfect round roti. This is optional. I don't mind cracked uneven edges, but if you want or if you like your rotis to be perfectly round, you can do this. Now this should be easy to handle. See, you can pick it up on your hand. Now you can transfer this to hot griddle. Before you flip it over, you have to make sure that the bottom is well toasted. If you can see those 3 bubbles, that means it is ready to be flipped. Carefully, see, you could do it. But it can tear sometimes if it is not well toasted in the bottom and if you rush to flip it. Once you flip, just tap it gently. Just give a little pressure so that it cooks thoroughly. Now it is pretty safe as it is well cooked both sides. It will not tear anymore. This is a great alternative for wheat rotis. This is very nutritious and also it is easier on your digestive system. So once in a while, making an effort to have this roti is worth it. Now with the second one, you can see that I have rushed to flip it and tore it. That's okay, as the dough is still wet. Just gently tap it at the tear and it will seal. And just make sure that it is not sticking to the bottom of the griddle. So gently give a scrape from the bottom. Now flip and cook both sides with giving a gentle pressure on the top. This is not looking so pretty as we did not give it a round cut, nor we cared so much about flipping. But still, end result, it tasted good. So don't have to be so perfect about these rotis, because it is kind of tough to have a pretty looking roti, but they taste amazing. As I had mentioned, this tastes great with jaggery and ghee. This is a very, very healthy breakfast, and also you can pack this as lunch for kids. I have shown here two kinds of fold. As I had told that these are not as soft and fluffy as regular wheat rotis, it can be hard to roll sometimes. So just go with the texture and make sure the filling stays inside and fold accordingly. This goes very well with any Indian vegetable side dish, any yogurt dish that is raita and yogurt, and this tastes awesome. I'll have all the details of this grain, what is it called and where it is available, in the description box. Do give it a try and let me know if you liked it. Thank you.